Was determined to get the man that she wanted, but she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. In my top 3 books that I have ever read in my life. Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title, today's video is a April reading wrap up. Now I know I haven't done a reading wrap up in a while, but I do have a vlog that's already recorded. I just haven't edited it, and I do a wrap up of January through March. But most likely you will be seeing this video before that vlog, because vlogs take longer to edit, and wrap ups is just me yapping about books for however long I need to. Before we get into that, hi, I am Kiana Chris. I make mainly bookish content, but we gonna eventually sprinkle in the other stuff. But if you are new here, hello and welcome, and if you are not, how are you? How are your mama and them? We're going to jump right into this. Got my StoryGraph pulled up, and in total I read a whopping 5 books, which is more than my monthly goal. My goal this year is to read 52 books, so that's 4 months. That is 4 books a month, and I read 5 books this month, and a total of 1,706 pages. No DNFs, no pauses. Well, that might be a lot, I'm not sure. Why is you looking over here? Let me do my video. So the first couple of books that I read were very much out of my comfort zone. They were dark romance, but with black characters. The first book I read was Call Me Mrs. Taylor by Shay Sanders. And this book was about basically a lady that was a stalker, and she was determined to get the man that she wanted, but she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Very much cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But I gave this book 3.5 stars, mainly because it was just not what I'm used to. I, however, did enjoy. I feel like I mostly enjoyed it because it felt like a thriller, because I'm trying to figure out what could she possibly do next, because she's already done so much crazy stuff. It ain't no way she can find something else to do. But she kept finding more crazy stuff to do, and the man was no better. I cannot remember nobody's name, but the man was no better. He wasn't a stalker, but let's just say I would not have reacted the same way if it was me. Just saying. Just saying. Next book I also read was also another dark romance. Basically the same trope, but it was a guy instead of the girl that was a stalker. And it was Applying Pressure, a love story by Siobhan Latrice, and I gave this 3.25 stars because the ending very much upset me. Very much upset me. I did not like the ending at all, and I don't feel like I would have reacted the same way. It was too wild. Too wild. If anything, I finished this book pretty fast because I was like, I'm ready to be done reading this. Now, I probably wouldn't read it again. Maybe I would recommend it, but it would have to be to someone that I know is into this type of romance and finds it likable. That's not the word I'm trying to use, but that's the word that popped in my head. I still want to read more dark romance because it feels like a thriller. I would say the first book that I spoke of, Call Me Mrs. Taylor, I enjoyed that more than Applying Pressure, because it felt more like a thriller than it did a dark romance. So that's just my opinion. Next, I read The Perfect Son by Freida McFadden. Now, I was kind of over Freida McFadden. I've read The Housemaid, and I believe I gave that like 3.5 stars. It was okay. It's like a fast-paced thriller. Everything's, well, it's not fast-paced, because the same thing kept happening for a majority of the story, and then like a plot twist that I kind of saw coming happen, and I was like, it's whatever. But The Perfect Son, way better than The Housemaid. Way better. I was not going to read any more Freida McFadden books. I'm glad I went ahead and gave her another chance. Now I will read more of her books, but after The Housemaid, I was like, But I'm doing all this talking. I gave this book 4.25 stars, which is really good, because like I said, I I wasn't feeling her, like her writing style. I wasn't feeling it for a while, but I actually liked it. It was I felt like it was fast paced, and really what pushed it over 5 stars is the ending, because that plot twist I did not see coming. I knew something was going to happen, but what actually happened, I was like, ain't no way, ain't no way. I literally gasped. I said yeah. So after that, I was very much in a thriller mood, so I read a book. Now, I wasn't going to read this next book because I know how I felt about The Perfect Son. It was very fast paced. It had a really big plot twist. It was that, it gave you that, like, when, dang, what am I trying to say? When you think of a thriller, The Perfect Son is that. It's very fast paced. It's a psychological thriller, so you're very much trying to figure out what's going on, and you're trying to turn them pages as fast as possible to get to the nitty gritty. So I wasn't going to read this next book because I already gave this author 5 stars before on another book, and I didn't want to go into it off of the Freedom McFadden high and not enjoy the book as much as I know I would if I hadn't just read Freedom McFadden. But y'all, when I say this book has, still to this day, has me in a chokehold. Now, I only finished it 4 days ago. I'm still thinking about this book. I will probably still think about this book. This is probably in my top 3 books that I have ever read in my life, and it's not 2 or 3. Now, I say all of this to say the book that I gave 5 stars, again, to this author because it's just that good, is Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. That book, it hit so many topics and felt like such a good thriller. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how S.A. Cosby does it. How can you bring up all this like real world problems? He does such a good job of talking about specific topics without making it feel like it's forced into the story, like it's really out of place. Like, he discussed racism, homophobia, what else, being like an ex-felon and how that works in society. It's just crazy. The book was just, it was just so good. Like, I wanted to dedicate just one video to the story, and I couldn't. You know, like when a book is so good, like you don't have the words to say like how good it was. And I can't think right now of what to say about it. So I'm going to read the review that I wrote, which, if you want to stay up to date on the books that I'm reading, I'm on StoryGraph, Kiana Chris. Same thing on Fable, Kiana Chris. That's like real time what I'm reading. I usually keep that updated. Like, as soon as I start a book, I update my StoryGraph and Fable. I also do book reviews on Lemonade and my Boostagram. Both of those are Kiana Chris. My Bookstagram is kianachris.reads, so that's just a little different. But yeah, that's just so you stay up to date on what I'm reading. But I am going to read this review because it's just really hard for me to talk about the book because it's that good. And when I say I'm recommending this book to everybody, I don't care if you don't read thrillers. I don't care if you don't read books. You need to read this book. If not, read it. Do the audiobook, because the audiobook is good too. This is absolutely the best book I have ever read. This book is a roller coaster crime thriller that follows 2 ex-convicts who are brought together by the brutal murder of their sons. Despite their past and personal prejudices, I can never say that word right, the fathers unite in a quest for justice, confronting their own biases and the societal issues that contributed to their son's death. As they delve deeper into the investigation, they navigate a world filled with danger and violence, all while seeking redemption for their past mistakes. Before I even finished this book, y'all, I already knew it was 5 stars. Like, I had to be 15 chapters in, maybe not even that, because no, it probably was 15 chapters, but I think there's like 40 some chapters in this book. But within the first 50 pages, I already knew this was going to be a 5-star read. After the first chapter, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. If anybody asks me for book recommendations, this is going to be at the top of the list. And we have all that done. I did read one more book, but this book I read over the span of the whole month because I'm trying to do at least one nonfiction book each month. And I ended up reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. And honestly, this is probably the first self-help book that I've actually finished, because it felt very much like more of like an academic type of self-help book, if that makes sense. And by academic, I mean the writing style is very much like he gives you examples of what he's talking about before he goes into like the skill he's trying to teach you or get you to understand. He gives examples, he has references. It's just, honestly, this is probably the best self-help book that I've read. It's very like strategic in how he does it. It made sense. It was simple, but not too simple that it's like, okay, I already knew this stuff. Which some of the stuff I have already heard about, like habit stacking. But it was just a really good book. Those are all the books that I completed this month, but I did start the Legendborn series, and be on the lookout for a vlog where I'm trying to finish this whole series. I don't know when that's going to be up. I don't know. I have the first 2 books, but I started this one a couple of days ago and I haven't gotten that far. And it's not because it's not good, it's just that I just got a lot going on and I be tired. So yeah, those are all the books that I read this month. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you've read any of these books. If y'all have read Razorblade Tears, please tell me your thoughts. How do you feel about it? Why is he your favorite author? Because he's definitely mine at this point. I already have another book by him that I want to already dive into, but I'm trying to wait. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.